king, I am not a god, I am Hump
What's good, YouTube? Today's video I will show you how to build your Loki Prime for level 9999 Steel Path enemies in Warframe, or known as level Kappa. Let's go for the speedrun. And now, as always, before I build a weapon or Warframe, I rely on my method called DVS. D, how I'll be dealing damage, what weapon I'll be using, what elements. V stands for priming enemies with 10 stacks of viral, making their HP more vulnerable by 325% more damage. S stands for stripping their armors, lowering their damage reduction to deal more damage. Next thing you need to learn is shield gating. Warframe, not like any other game. When you receive a fatal blow, you don't die. Doesn't matter the damage enemies throw at you. What happens is you lose your shield, your screen will glitch. That means you entered into a gate phase. When you are in the gate phase, you are invulnerable for a certain duration. It's affected by how much shields you have. Shield gating simply returning your shields before the gate phase ends, so enemies doesn't hit your HP. As always, we take beginners friendly approach, explaining Thanos about Loki Prime kit. Passive, able to hang from walls 10 times longer than normal. Maybe this could be a very nice for a Riven challenge, but in real game, this sucks, and hopefully they rework it one day. First ability, Decoy. Loki deploys a holographic copy of himself that draws enemies' fire and absorbs a portion of nearby enemies' health and shields. Pretty nice. Now, the augments got Savior Decoy. If Loki takes fatal damage, Decoy absorbs the damage and swaps location. Also increase casting speed of Decoy by 50%. This is nice, but I don't feel it's very useful to sacrifice a mod slot for it. Damage Decoy, on the other hand, this is the real deal. Decoy can be cast on enemies who attack that Decoy receives 5 random statue effects, and the reflected damage is increased by 350%, and it's affected by ability strength. You can reach crazy numbers. Now, Deceptive Bond. Decoy augment 50% of damage Loki takes is transferred to Decoy and vice versa. Now, you don't want this one. Now, next, invisibility. Really simple. Through as many duration, you're invisible, and that's pretty much it. And it got an augment called Hashed Invisibility. Invisibility augment. Weapon noise is reduced by 100% while invisible. Makes it really nice when you're using a very loud weapons and you don't want to use their exhaust slot. That's really good. Switch teleport. Loki instantaneously swap positions with target, confusing the enemy. Really simple. And this is the one you switch for helmet ability. Got an augment called Safeguard Switch. Augment switch with an enemy for 3 seconds invulnerability. Switch with an ally to give allies 6-second invulnerability. Switch also removed negative statue effect on Loki and allies. Now, if you feel insecure playing Loki, the safeguard is what's gonna save you all day long, as you're gonna be switching and becoming invulnerable. And that's pretty much it if you don't want to play shield gating mechanics. But in any way, when you switch teleport, you'll be using energy. The energy will be converted to shields, and you're gonna be shield gating anyway. In general, in Warframe, it doesn't matter what Warframe you use or what style you play, as long as your Warframe has shield, you will shield gate, you like it or not. Radial Disarm, I think this is really amazing ability on him, and the radio soffit, it's amazing. Let's forth a wave of energy, disrupting the projectile weapons of enemies in range and forcing them to revert into melee combat. When enemies are in melee combat, they're gonna start chasing you, right? They're not gonna be like shooting you from distance. Makes them like very easy to kill and easy to dodge. The augment called the Irradiating Disarm. Radial Disarm augment, enemies will be affected by radial statue for 9 seconds. The idea here with radial statues that enemies will start actually attacking each other. That's pretty much it. And now when it comes to helmet topics, he's invisible, means he deals a stealth damage on melee weapons. So the first candidate will be Wrathful Advance for the red crits. but a lot of Thanos likes to use primary and secondary, and a lot of Thanos likes to use melee weapons, so I didn't go for Wrathful Advance. You can use Gloom to slow down those enemies, but you are invisible anyway, you don't need to slow anybody, you just kill everything, so I don't think Gloom is nice here. Ensnare, you don't need any kind of CC to be honest, since you are invisible. So what you need here is damage boosting, and that's pretty much it. So you want Eclipse, you want Throw, you want Zata Whisper, you want Wrathful Advance, stuff like that, depends on the playstyle and what you want. You can throw in Nourish or Tempest Barrage. And the Switch Teleport is what you want to switch in here. And let's not forget that with the Decoy now cast on enemies, you can use Mind Control from Nyx, and you can create crazy stuff with that. And now for the build, starting with the Archon Shards. 2 Emerald Archon Shards. So I can reach 14 stacks of Corrosive to armor strip enemies with my weapons without the need of use of any helmet ability to armor strip, like Pirish, Terrify, and so on, or any Fox School to armor strip like Unairo. So, if you don't like my method on armor stripping and proccing viral, you can check this sheet right here. It can help you maneuver around my methods. 2 Violet Archon Shards for 25% melee critical damage, and if my energy is more than 500, the damage boost is doubled. And then Tauforge Amber Archon Shard for 37.5 casting speed, so we save 1 mod slot in not using the natural talent. And always remember, the Archon Shards are optional, and you can switch them and play with them around, depends on your style. For example, if you use primary and secondary, there is no need for you to use Violet Archon Shards, you would switch to something else. If you don't like casting speed, you can go more for something else. Like, keep playing around, right? Nothing written on stone on any build. And now when it comes to the modding, you need to understand that Loki is a weapon Warframe, in the meaning of, you can't kill with his kit. Simple as that, alright? What you do is you bring a weapon, it doesn't matter what it is, an Icana, a Glaive, a Dual Toxicus, a Turid, a Burston, whatever you want, just bring it in and you can kill anything. Okay, for me, for example, I took him in a different style using Slam. So, brief respite here, when you use an ability, the ability will consume energy and the energy consumed will be converted to shields. So, every time I get shield gated, I use any ability, I get back my shield. Now, Nira's Anguish for 100% slam attack with Nira Hatred becomes 200%. Rolling Guard now becomes invulnerable for 3 seconds and remove all statue effects. Makes it really amazing endgame mod. Viral Tempest is the augment for the Tempest Barrage helmet ability I'll be using. Tempest Barrage is Hydroid subsumable ability, will proc corrosive on enemies. With Viral Tempest, it will proc viral. And with the 2 Emerald Archon Shards that I just showed you, you can armor strip and proc viral with just Tempest Barrage. So, really amazing. And I will show you how important it is to proc viral and armor strip enemies and how the damage will scale insanely. Primed Flow for energy max, so we reach more than 500 for the 2 Violet Archon Shards. Emerald Testify for strength. And then we got Primed Continuity, Nira's Hatred, Damage Decoy. Now, this decoy, check this out. 504 just with 144 strength. Now remember, you can flip all this build and just throw duration and strength, and you don't care about efficiency and range, whatever. Just make sure that Radial Disarm has that nice 20 meters radius, so the enemies, you know, they're like disarmed and trying to chase you around, and pretty much it. Otherwise, don't care about Radial Disarm and just use the Augmenter where you hush all your weapons and enemies will not even know where you are. Now, Catalyzing Shields is the old school shield gating, means we will lower our shield to minimum, and we will have 1.33 second full shield gate immunity. Our shield is 56, so when we use, for example, the Radial Disarm or anything like here, we'll be able to return our shields. Arcane Energize, obviously for energy, Arcane Fury for the melee weapon. Now, if you're using a primary or secondary, Arcane Fury is irrelevant. You want to switch this one up along with the Nira Anguish and Nira Hatred if you're not going for a slam build. So what you want to do is really simple. If you want, you can throw Prime Sure-Footed, you can throw Range, you can throw Strength, or you can throw one of his Augment in the Exilus to hush your weapons. And here you can throw anything you want. You want to throw more duration, but you're going to cost the range, 6.8 meters. But it's totally up to you how you want to play him. He's really simple Warframe. Throw duration and strength. Keep the range at 100. Efficiency, just deal around with energy. Pretty much easy, and that's all. And you can take any slam weapons you want. I have tons of them in the channel, but for the video, I'll just take the Arcatitron. And now when it comes to the Arcatitron, we're going to be running Crushing Ruin, Condition Overload, because we're going to be using the Decoy, Blood Rush, Primate Fever Strike, Amalgam Organ Shatter, Gladiator Mat, Killing Blow, Seismic Wave, and Galvanize Steel. And then we're going to have Melee Crescendo for 12 combo multiplier. Now your question would be, hey, why Galvanize Steel instead of the Sacrificial Steel? Simply with the Sacrificial set on heavy attack slam, we will have 288% critical chance. That means tier 1 will be 4.9, like you see right here. Tier 2 will be 8.8 critical damage. Tier 3 will be 12.7. Now with the Galvanized Steel, we're gonna have only 200% critical chance, but tier 1 will be 7.3 and the tier 2 will be 13.6 critical damage. And don't forget, what makes it more and better, because the critical damage increase that stacks to 4 times means 120%, 1.2 critical damage, makes it the best candidate for this weapon. Now for melee crescendo, and if you're going along with this build, now you would ask how I'll be performing finishers. You can perform finishers in many ways. One, you can use Vazarin and the second ability of your operator to ragdoll them and do a ground finisher pressing X. Or you can use Naramon, activate the second ability of operator and then sling, and then you open enemies for finisher. Or you can use Bronco Augment, teasing rounds. Or you can use IRU modes on your primary weapon and you just can open them for finishers. Really easy. And here we are in Simulacrum, and I'm gonna be using Vazarin to ragdoll enemies in the ground, and then I'll be like performing finishers in the ground on those enemies. There you go, second ability, I'm performing finisher. Simple as that. So I just summoned level 1 so I can speed up this process. Okay, and remember that the Arcatitron got a very nice feature, which is the slam capacitor, increased damage or radius on next slam attack after melee kills. Now that's really powerful. Make sure like you perform melee kills. Go, but when you perform a slam, that 5 stacks will be consumed. Go. And I think we are at 12 combo multiplier. Now I will summon enemies level 225 heavy corrupted gunners, and that's the maximum you can get right now on steel on the simulacrum. There you go. Now I will be just simply jumping and slamming. Boom, 6 million, and keep that in mind. Alright, 6 million with 5 stacks of capacitor. Alright, so now what I'm gonna be doing, I will refill my capacitor really quick. I'll just like take it guy, just we're like a bit slow, but bear with me. Go. Let's go, 5 capacitor, we are ready. Now, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna be using viral and armor stripping enemies so we can check the difference. Boom, 394 million, from 6 million to 394 million. I don't know how much multiplied is that, but that's really crazy. Now, if we use condition overload and our decoy, things gonna get crazy. Let's check this out. Alright, let's get the capacitor really quick. Just gonna be performing like heavy. That's 1 capacitor. I just want you to see the things go step by step in here. 3 capacitors, 4, 5, and here we go. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make this guy a decoy, but then I need to release them. I'll go to invisible. I'll release them. Heavy corrupted gunners. Here we go. Boom. And this is my decoy. You need to cast it on that enemy so he turns into blue, and he will start putting all those stacks on there. Take that out. And then I'll just go invisible, and then Tempest Barrage. There you go, to armor strip them and so on. Jumping in the air. And boom. 4,067,000 and crazy numbers in there that you can just stop the video there and check them out. So that's how you do a full DVS. In the end of the video, I will give Loki 10 out of 10 for his invisibility, 8 out of 10 for the augment of decoy, and 0 out of 10 for his passive, and overall he will be 8 out of 10 in my perspective. He's really amazing Warframe, he's not bad at all. That's that. Now, I highly recommend having Loki Prime in your arsenal, of course, And at the end of the video, I want to say thank you so much everyone for supporting the channel in any way by hitting like, subbing, commenting or sharing. And special thanks to everyone joining my Discord, the link in the description if you want to join. Special thanks to special VIP, Rekaka, Illusion or Free and Irish, the undisputed donator of Free Hate, and donators Zakali, Rek or Free, Victor, Mr. V, Mikawes, Milan, Ilionot and Noobmaster. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, big love to you all.